This is the future.
Hello everyone and welcome back to another Warframe video. So today I want to talk about the best melee weapons that weren't included in the top 1% of the most popular close combat weapons depicted in the recent Warframe statistics. The top 10 popular melee weapons are Saurus, Glaive Prime, Broken War, the Skiagiti, Nikana Prime, the Incarno melee called Praetos, Guandayo Prime, the Scana, the Stropha, and the Cronin Prime. Out of the 10 weapons listed here, the most surprising is the Scana, and this shows you that this statistic is flawed and doesn't show you exactly the most powerful or the most useful melee weapons in Warframe right now. The Scana is probably the best pick for new players who just started playing Warframe, and this doesn't mean that it's the most powerful melee weapon in the game. While I agree that most of the melee weapons that are listed at the top 10 of the Warframe statistics for 2023 deserve their spots, I think players should know that there are better weapons that are at the very bottom of the list, and this video will show you some of these melee weapons. Why are they so important, and the different builds that you can use to either improve your overall loadout or obliterate everything within seconds. So let's start with the OG weapon called the Legion. The Legion is an infested polyarm based on the Torpedo. Upon inflicting a status effect on its target, the Legion gains bonuses to its attack speed and bonus toxin damage, which coupled with its primary focus on slash damage makes it a dangerous weapon against lightly armored targets. You can purchase its blueprint in the in-game market, and this melee weapon is considered to be the meta during the times where impure status builds are king. Right now, you can add critical hits to the weapon, and Blood Rush alone is the optimal critical chance bonus in my opinion, as you would not want to go over 200% critical chance. You can do that by specific setup, but it would be best to keep it at least at 100% critical chance, since you will have more damage if you use the Melee Duplicate Arcane on this weapon. Melee Duplicate is a melee arcane enhancement that causes base yellow critical hits to inflict a second instance of damage. This arcane pairs very well with the yellow crit status Legion, and it's still one of those melee condition overload builds that can melt steel path and beyond enemies easily. Next is the Prisma Ama. This Prisma weapon can only be acquired from the Void Trader, but you can purchase it also from other players with Platinum. This is an absolute beast of a melee weapon because of its innate electricity that pairs well with the new melee influence arcane right now. If you can somehow optimize your build for multiple statuses such as Viral, which you can get from basic modding or from other sources like the Nourish ability, then the Prisma Oma will turn into a nasty room cleaner. The best part is when you have Nourish, then you can mod your melee weapon with gas and electricity. The gas cloud's damage gets spread by melee influence almost every time, dealing more damage over time to targets that are affected. Another weapon that I can say is Steel Path and Beyond worthy is the Incarn Dual Ichor. Aside from the bonus perk that greatly increases the kill speed of the vanilla Dual Ichor, it has a special feature wherein it creates toxic clouds per kill. This can be turned into corrosive viral or gas clouds depending on your mod setup. It gets better with a Sarin build for corrosive viral, gas, and toxin coming from the Toxic Lash ability. However, the Incarn Dual Ichor doesn't need Sarin to be good, as it's also a beast when it comes to kill speed. The Warframe just makes the weapon fun to use as a status spreader with melee influence in the gas clouds, and then it can also kill faster compared to the top weapons listed in the recent Warframe statistics. Next is my favorite Prime Claw in Warframe, the Venka Prime. This is one of the best spin to win setup in Warframe with its Vermilion Storm stance. With the 13 times combo multiplier also, you can achieve red crit easily with Blood Rush and the Gladiator mod set effect paired with the 12 times combo multiplier. The best part is that the Venka Prime is a slash-based melee weapon. With its Cardinal Breeze combo, you can have decent mobility while spinning and killing steel path and beyond enemies. Also, I would like to share my favorite machete in the game called the Slaytra. The Slaytra's blueprint is available from Chipper of Kyle's Garrison for 30 stock, requiring players to be at rank 2. This is the signature melee weapon of Kyle as he hunts down Narmer forces in Veilbreaker and his subsequent Break Narmer weekly quests. Unlike the standard grinder machete, the Slaytra's slash procs last twice as long as normal, resulting to prolonged bleed damage. While it doesn't have the range as other weapons in the game, the melee weapon is a beast when it comes to slaying steel path enemies, and I like it when you hit an enemy 2 or 3 times and just wait for them to die with the bleed procs. This weapon is also great when paired with Nekros Desecrate, as it's heavy with slash damage. I would also like to add to the list the RK Tetron. You can purchase this this melee weapons blueprint in the in-game market, and it has this special mechanic wherein it stores a buff called Slam Capacitor that increases the damage of the next slam attack by 100% and stacks multiplicatively with itself up to 10 times. Lasting 20 seconds until refreshed or used, the Slam Capacitor attack also releases a large electric discharge, increasing its range by 1 meter per charge and applying a guaranteed electricity procy. This is best paired with an Eclipse, and you can achieve 2 billion damage when you have max stack of Slam Capacitor and you use it with the Eclipse weapon damage buff. The only problem with the Archititron though is it needs Eclipse to achieve damage cap, and the weapon buff is unreliable sometimes, and you would want to use it only in missions with high illumination. Also, I would like to talk about the Ripkaz melee weapon. Now, this is not used to kill enemies as a melee weapon, but it's one of the best tools to use for a farming Necros build. It has this exclusive mod called Amalgam Ripkaz True Steel that grants gore, and this gore mechanic serves also as dismemberment, which pairs well with the desecrate ability of Necros. With this melee equipped, you can use guns and will not have to worry about slashes. You can dismember enemy bodies with elements such as toxin, heat, corrosive, or even viral. This melee weapon may not be a killer, but it's a great utility for Necros as it creates a different playstyle for the farming Warframe. Another great tool for Necros is the Secura Lecta. This is the Syndicate variant of the Lecta exclusive to the Parent sequence. Enemies killed by this weapon will drop additional credits, scaling with the user's mastery rank. Basically, the higher your mastery rank, the more credit multiplier you gain, and it synergies with Necros desecrate ability, allowing you to farm credits in the Steel Path Conjunction survival easily. In fact, you can have as much as 1 million credits or more per 8-minute run if you have the proper Necros build with the Secura Lecta. Now, this is one of those synergies that my viewers shared with me while I was streaming on Twitch, and I think it should be right if the person who documented this synergy first on YouTube will be the one who will explain to you how this works. The name of the channel is Lord Dom, and I have included the link to his YouTube channel below. I think it's also best that we call this Lord Dom's 1 million credit melee build, as he was the first who provided the information on YouTube. Lastly, I would like to talk about another utility melee weapon that you must have for min-maxing your builds, and this is the Incarnate Ceramic Dagger, which is the best stat stick in Warframe right now. This weapon is used because of its high Riven disposition and because of its initial combo perks that grants you max combo without expiration if you manage to roll a good initial combo Riven. It can also provide great critical chance and critical damage stats, perfect for red crit builds, and of course you can both combine the initial combo and critical chance stat from Riven to form a red crit monster builds for the likes of Baruch and Korra. This is also a great weapon of choice for Mesa, as the initial combo can be used with secondary outburst, Archon shards, and the Arcane Avenger to gain red crit damage on her Peacemaker. Now, these are my favorite melee weapons that weren't included in the top 10 most popular weapons in Warframe. Honestly, with the addition of Tennokai system and the melee arcanes, almost all hybrid melee weapons right now are Steel Path viable. However, there are just those that hit harder compared to other weapons. Also, there are special cases of melee weapons that can be used as stat sticks to improve your overall Warframe builds, and I have included them in this video. I hope that you have learned something from this guide, and I hope to see you again in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Squad Leader signing off.
This is the future.